Ladies and gentlemen, in this RedGamingTech.com video we have some rumours that Nintendo will be modifying the Wii U software to be able to run smartphone applications. That's right, you heard me correctly, smartphone applications. According this is to the Japan Times, the company is working to modify its new console so that it is compatible with smartphone applications. And indeed, Nintendo have offered professional use conversion software to developers so that you can actually take a smartphone game and change it around so they'll actually be working and playable on the Wii U. So what possible reasons for Nintendo are there to do this? It's actually a very simple one. More titles on their system. It's actually kind of smart in some respects. Quite simply put, it increases the library of titles that could be possibly available to the Wii U to quite gargantuan levels, because as you guys know, it's very cheap to produce smartphone games is really what it comes down to. There are a lot of kits available, and because obviously the hardware itself isn't super meaty, it doesn't really, and by that I mean super powerful, it doesn't really require that much in terms of graphical artists and so forth, at least compared to something like, I don't know, the new Call of Duty, for example. Now there has been some further information from the Japan Times, and they've been saying from the company sources that Nintendo are developing its own new software, but there haven't been any further details exactly what this is going to be. Likely, of course, it's going to be concerning this whole smartphone option. Now, to be honest with you, this is going to be very strange because it's a completely different direction from Nintendo. And honestly speaking, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing when you think about it. Right now, in the UK at least, the Wii U is selling very cheap. You can actually get the basic system for about £150, slightly less, slightly more, depending on the games and how much you shop around. And when you think about it, that means that the system has come down absolutely massively since launch. But the real reason, of course, the system isn't selling that well right now is quite simply because of games. Now, Nintendo are rumored to be working hard on several new titles for the system, including a new Mario and that type of thing. But I think ultimately people want a lot more. I think one of the issues right now that Nintendo are having is a simple one. Let's say that you did not grow up with Nintendo, or you're not really interested in Mario and those games. It's possible. Not everyone's a huge Mario fan. You know, maybe not everyone is into RPGs or action RPGs, and therefore Zelda, as good as it is, it just doesn't really appeal to you, and so forth. Especially if you're a newer gamer and you grew up on the PlayStation, it's possible that you may not have played the really big Marios, even maybe missed out on Mario Sunshine and Super Mario 64, possibly even the Galaxies and so on. Therefore, it's not that you hate Mario, it's just that you just don't care about it. It just doesn't really enter your mind. When you talk about gaming, you may think of gaming and think of Call of Duty, or you may think of it and think of Uncharted. Either way, it's not really in your mind. So therefore, Nintendo have to start creating new and exciting games and expanding their platform in such a way that, in reality, they're actually creating new fans. Because ultimately speaking, I don't care what version of a watermelon you've produced. If I don't like watermelons, or watermelons have not interested me in the past, there's a good chance that I'm not really going to want a new watermelon. On the other hand, if you were to show me like an orange or something, I may well purchase it because of the orange. In other words, quite simply put, sometimes you need something else to lure someone in. I don't necessarily know if the smartphone applications are going to work. Obviously, this has not been confirmed yet, at least to my understanding. But to be honest with you, I don't think it would be a particularly bad thing, even if it were. Some people may say that it waters down the console or whatever. I don't really agree. I don't subscribe to that point of view. I think, if anything, it just opens it up. Obviously, it also means that from the perspective of developers of games, it just increases the market share that they can get into, and honestly speaking, gives them a gateway in. Right now, Microsoft are doing something a little bit similar. or supposedly anyway, because obviously, once again, we're not 100% sure what Microsoft are doing with the next generation Xbox, whether it's going to be called Fusion or Durango or Xbox 720 or whatever the hell it's going to be called. But the rumors are that they're going to include some kind of Windows Live marketplace for the games on there, which of course uses the Windows 8 principle of getting games on there. And that could be fantastic for their point of view, because it's a very, 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 very easy way to publish games. Obviously, there are probably going to be some criteria that you have to jump through first to ensure that the game is compatible with the Durango hardware. But in regards to the smartphone applications, despite the fact that the Wii U isn't exactly going to be able to compete on the PlayStation 4 level in terms of power, it's certainly going to be able to easily outpace the games that smartphones are able to put out. So in theory, I don't know whether it's going to be an emulator or whether it's going to be an actual proper conversion. It hasn't really been mentioned that much in the article, but either way, it should run absolutely fine. And as I said earlier, it will only increase the amount of games on there. I mean, could you imagine the excitement levels if you were able to play, say, Angry Birds or all these other games? Of course, it's fairly interesting as well, because you're going to be getting the Ouya and the Game Stick and these other Android-based systems, which of course are going to be very cheap. So there's always that negativity, but still, at least it increases the market share. I don't necessarily know, however, if you're going to be seeing Apple products on there. It's most likely going to be Android, but who the heck knows. Anyway, regardless, hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you soon. Take care, and bye for now.